Hey YouTube, my name's Jeff Van Vost and we are kicking it Van Vost style. On this video, I'm going to make a little bit of smoked queso. Now, we have a previous video that we did on smoking queso, and I like to kind of mix it up a little bit, but what makes this one a little bit different is the last one that I did, I actually cooked it, got all the preparations done in our sticks and bricks, and we had some people say, well, you said it's really easy to do in an RV. It doesn't take a lot of space. Those were some of the comments. Well, okay, this is smoked queso inside the RV. The only difference is the smoker's still outside. But we'll get the preparations and everything for you. I'll give you the ingredients. I'll give you the recipe. That'll be down below in our description. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to cooking. Guys, these are the ingredients that I use in my smoked queso. A little bit of minced garlic, about 2 tablespoons full, a little pop of seasoning, some Wolf brand chili with beans, Rotel hot, and then we've got our preparation of a onion, medium-sized onion, diced, some cilantro that is minced. Also, we have a half a jalapeno, which is also minced, and then the juice of 2 limes. I'll mix it up a little bit. Sometimes I use a pound of sausage and a pound of hamburger meat. Today we're going to use 2 pounds of sausage and a very small bottle of paste picante sauce, some taco seasoning, and then for those that want a little MSG in their diet, I put about a teaspoon of accent in there. And that's really all the ingredients that I use. And I want to lightly brown that. Keep in mind, this is also going to go in a pan in the smoker, so it's going to cook even more. You want to make sure that you want to get it cooked, but you don't want to just really brown it like you would do sausage, because it is going in another pan, and that's going to smoke for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Guys, when you're cooking this, I want to make sure that I continue to slice that up. I want that kind of like what your ground beef is. Sausage tends to stick together, so I want to make sure that I continue to do that because I don't want big lumps in my queso. One other thing that I want to mention to you, if you're using a pound of hamburger meat and a pound of sausage, make sure that you put your sausage on first and cook that till it starts to get kind of like the color that it is right now. And the reason I say that, sausage always cooks or takes longer to cook and brown than what ground beef does. That way, you want to make sure that you get everything kind of even before you put it in your pan to go in the smoker. All I'm doing, and when I told you that we're gonna lightly brown this, is I don't want any pink showing. Once that's done and I've gotten rid of all the pink, then I know I've got it ready to go in my pan to go in the smoker. So we've got our sausage to where we want it. There's no pink showing, and the next thing I'm gonna do is add the taco seasoning to it. We've got our taco seasoning in there, and then I also put a half a cup of water. We're going to turn the fire back on it, and then we're going to let that cook so the meat absorbs all of that taco seasoning. We're going to let that cook for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll put that back in our pan to get ready to go into the smoker. Make sure you get all of the sausage or sausage and hamburger meat, however you're preparing this. Make sure you get a really good coating of taco seasoning on there. And just keep stirring it. And like I said, you're going to cook that for about 3 to 4 minutes. Usually at least until all that water is out of there and it's absorbing into the meat. Once we take this off, we're going to let it sit. And the longer that it sits, the better that it will continue to absorb into your sausage or your hamburger. We've got that cooked. We're actually going to set that to the side, turn our fire off, and just let that sit. On the Velveeta cheese, I will cut that up and then let that sit in like cubes about this size, and then we'll put that in our pan. So it is certainly all about presentation, and that's how I've got our pan set up. The only thing that I don't have in there is our sausage with the taco seasoning and our Rotel. Now, we won't put the Rotel in until right at the very end. But we do have our cilantro, we've got our jalapeno, our onion, of course our cheese, Velveeta, and our 1 can of Wolf Brand chili, or that's with beans. If you don't have Wolf Brand where you live, chili will do. I just prefer Wolf Brand. It's made here in Texas, and I support our state. And then I've got a small bottle of paste picante sauce. Now, on this bottle of paste picante sauce, it is 16 ounces, and that's what I use. And I use the whole bottle. There you go with the sausage, or if you're using hamburger and sausage, that's where that'll go. Look, guys, this is presentation, and it's going to look really nice and neat. I do try to keep things separated. Once it goes in the smoker, I want that kind of separated, and then as it smokes and we get closer down to it, I will start mixing that together. Don't ask me why. It's my own preference. Doesn't matter. You may want to mix all your stuff together in the beginning. I'm not going to tell you that it doesn't taste just as good. It's just what I do. So we got our smoker up and running. It is actually just now firing up. And I'm going to set that temperature at 225 degrees. Put our pan in there with all of our good stuff for our queso. And we'll let that cook for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Now, right as we come to that hour and a half, 2 hour mark, usually it takes about 2 hours, I'll put the Rotel in last. I don't want all those tomatoes to cook out, so that's why it goes in last. Guys, the chips that I'll use is a combination of hickory and mesquite. It's just the flavor that I like. You guys experiment when you do your smoked queso, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you use and what you like. Now the smoker's coming up to about 225 degrees. It's time to go get our pan and get it in our smoker. Yeah, about 225, like I said, is normally what I will cook that at or smoke it at. And it usually takes between an hour and a half to 2 hours. Usually it's closer to that 2 hour mark. Let's go get our pan. Well, my timer just went off, and it's been about an hour since that's been smoking. We're going to go outside and take a look and see where we're at. I'm for positive it's not done yet, but it may be where we want to go ahead and stir our ingredients together. Now, kind of how I know if I want to go ahead and stir everything back together is if the cheese is just starting to melt or has melted to where I've kind of got it all flat. And I'll show you that here in just a second. I'll go ahead and start stirring. Oh yeah, she's starting to look good. See how that cheese is flat now? It's no longer in the cube like what we had? It's ready. Let's go ahead and stir that up. So we've got that stirred up really good. Now I'm going to take my smoker and I'm going to drop that down to about 200 degrees and let that finish cooking. Like I said, it usually takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we'll put our Rotel in. That'll be the very last thing that we do. We drop that down to about 200. That way it doesn't cook everything out. Check it again in about 30 minutes. It's looking really good. I had a little bit of a taste. I cheated. If you like our channel, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up and give us a like. Be sure and share it with all your friends. If you don't like what you see in this content, or you don't like it, don't watch anymore, or give us a thumbs down. But do this. Leave me a comment and tell me why you don't like it. What would you like to see different? We always like to see your comments and what you have to say. Again, do me a favor. Subscribe, like, share. Last but not least, make sure you ring that bell where it's got wings, and that way you're notified of the next video that we have coming up. We are at an hour and 30 minutes, and I'm about to go outside and check on the smoker and our queso and see if that's done yet. And if it is, which it should be close, then we will partake of some queso. Shh, this is actually for a Christmas party for tomorrow. So we won't tell them that we're going to take just a small amount to test out. Now also at this hour and 30-minute mark, I'm going to go ahead and throw our Rotel tomatoes in. Now I've already opened that can. I will drain off the liquid and then pour those tomatoes right in and then stir it up. Even if this is close to being done, I'll let that sit for another about 15 minutes. That way that queso absorbs that flavor of the Rotel. Anyway, here we go. Let's go check on our queso. Let's see if it's done. Oh yeah, folks, that is done. It is ready to go. We're going to go ahead and pour our Rotel in there. Oh yeah, that looks good. So that's been simmering for about 15 minutes. We're going to take it out and we'll take a little bit of a try, but then we'll save the rest for the party for tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope when you make your queso that it turns out just as good as this, and I appreciate it. Make sure that you hit subscribe, give us a like, definitely leave us a comment, and please share this with your friends. Thanks. Appreciate it.